This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, guys. Nice to meet you. How's everything going?
Very good.
Good,
Doing well.
good.
How you
Enjoying
doing,
your
Matt?
day? Getting ready for the Labor Day weekend here?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Nice, nice. You guys got big plans?
Huge plans.
Nice. Where you guys going?
Big plans. We're taking the kids camping in Connecticut.
Very nice, very nice. That's nice. How far is that drive for you?
About 2 hours.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into a 7-hour drive on Labor Day. I'm going to visit my mother in Long Branch over here in the Garden State Parkway. Forget it. Going down into South Jersey. It could be a 30-minute trip or a 4-hour trip. You never know, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Good. Well, I hope that you guys have a ton of fun on on the camping trip. Camping was never really my speed. I feel like the mosquitoes just love me a little too much for me to really get a good enjoyable experience out there. But I'm happy for you guys. It'll be nice. So thanks for taking the time to speak with me today. I know I read a little bit about this. I know you guys have looked into a solar a little bit before. So tell me what brings you here to me today. What are you guys looking to do? What are you guys looking to accomplish by looking into solar, exploring your options?
Darlene's been really steam fronting this one. So, sweetheart, why don't you take this one?
Um, I really want to lower my electric bill and reduce my carbon footprint on this first.
Okay, nice. I don't think anyone's ever said that to me. But that's good. Thinking about the future generations, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, the savings is huge motivation, obviously, for going solar. There's so many people right now that are flooding to the solar market, especially with this new crazy pandemic world we're living in. People's electric bills have just absolutely exploded, right? Everyone's home, the lights are on, right? Everybody has their iPads and their, computers and their TVs running 24 hours a day. It's pretty incredible to see that increased usage over time. But unfortunately, I mean, it's also being reflected in everyone's electric bill, right? So everybody's kind of scrambling for another option. So really, you guys are thinking kind of savings is the number one biggest motivator for you guys to looking into this, really, and then carbon footprint being second, of course.
Yeah.
It's safe to say for me.
Nice, nice. So when you guys have looked into it before, I mean, because I did read something here saying that you guys were shopping around a little bit, which is great. Um, what did you like about what you heard from other companies to have you continue to search?
I like the tax credit. I think that's great.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Without a doubt. I mean, free money, right? Very nice. So when you guys spoke to that other company, I mean, you liked what you heard enough to continue looking. You liked the tax credit. What didn't you like? Why keep shopping? What was it that you didn't like about that company, or what they had to say, or whatever went down there?
Oh,
so
look.
one
Go ahead,
thing I
honey.
like was the few companies that I've looked into, they really didn't have like I saw this company, like they're rated A plus on the Better Business Bureau. You guys have been in business for 10 plus years. You're local here in Rockland County, which I think is great.
Hmm.
These bigger corporate companies, I don't think that they have the same warranties as you guys do. I have a friend who had solar, which is actually a true story. She had solar put on her house, and for some reason, they ended up digging in her yard to move to lay wires down. And they dug up the yard, and then they left the rocks, the big rocks. They just left them where they were, and she ended up falling over one of those rocks one evening, getting her dogs inside, and ended up hurting herself. And they just didn't care.
Yeah, that's rough.
And they left.
Yeah, yeah.
That's scary.
For sure. So you're really looking for a reliable company, right? Somebody who's been around for a while, somebody with high ratings, good accreditations, somebody with good partnerships. That's good to know. I mean, at the end of the day, the way that this kind of works is we're going to be your partner with electric, right? We're going to be the company that's providing that electric and that service to you from here on out. So I mean, it's definitely important of the provider that you choose. It's not just about the price, even though we are extremely competitively priced in the area. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't realize this. It's a home improvement project, right? You want it done the right way, right? You want it done the right way the first time, and you want it by a company that you can trust and know they're going to be there when if you have a call or a question. Nice. So that was really the biggest reason that you didn't pull the trigger with them. It was a trust factor, and you didn't feel like there was enough, maybe rapport built or trust or ratings, high enough ratings from them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
On top of that, I'm a little concerned about lock. It seems like a lot of these, you have to lock into a payment for, 10, 20 years. And, we have a mortgage already. To be perfectly honest, I'm a little hesitant about signing up for something for that amount of time. And that's a concern.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And just a quick question on that. Your agreement with Orange and Rockland, when does that expire?
Well, I guess theoretically,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. So it's a unique way to think about it, right? So, I mean, you're in a lifelong agreement with a company that guarantees two things, right? They guarantee to be the most expensive in the marketplace, and they guarantee to increase their rates between 3 and 6% per year by generating dirty power, right? So a lot of people don't think of it like this, but like Orange and Rockland doesn't send you a renewal every year. Hey, come sign up with us for the next year, right? They just bill you, right? So we'll get into them a little bit further, but one of the huge benefits is actually exactly what you just said of going solar. It's being able to lock in a rate. It's being able to have price protected power regardless of what storms and infrastructure damage and whatever rate hikes and increases that they want to inflict. So, but we'll get into all that stuff. So basically what I've done, but before we hop into this, I've prepared a little bit of a presentation for you guys. But before we hop into that, is there any really pressing questions that you guys have for me that you want to get off your chest before we dive in here?
No.
Okay. All right, great. So what I've done, I prepared a little slideshow for you guys. So I want to go ahead and I'm going to take over your screen so you'll be able to see mine. Okay. Just let me know when you can see it.
You got it.
Awesome. All right, cool. So we're going to hop right into it. So I'm sure you guys are aware the name of the company is Infinity Energy. Really what I want to do to start off is I want to set a little bit of an agenda here. First, we're going to talk about what solar can do for you. Then we're going to talk a little bit about my company, who we are, what we do, what separates us here in the marketplace. We're going to take a look at your Orange and Rockland bill, and then we're going to put together a proposal and see if this whole thing makes sense to you guys. Fair?
Sounds good.
All right, cool. So for starters, what can solar do for you? Well, the obvious, solar can save you money, right? Every single month, you're going to be paying a lower amount for your electric consumption than what you're currently paying now through Orange and Rockland. So that's a huge motivator. Second, it's going to give you energy independence. You're going to be able to produce your own power, right? The power is going to be generated on your roof, right? 20 feet above your head. It's going to be generated and it's going to come directly down into your main service panel. So you essentially become your own electric company, which is pretty neat, right? You're not relying on those guys. What that provides to you is this price protection. Now, I don't know about you guys, but one of the things that really, it made me sick before I got solar, but I could have an electric bill 1 month and my electric bill could be $75. The next month, my electric bill could be $375, right? So that's one of the things that always pained me about electric bills, right? It's so hard to give you the ability to budget accurately, right? So when we lock in a price, we're going to give you that price protection. That price protection is going to allow you to budget more accurately because you're going to know exactly how much the payments are that are coming your way, and you're going to know exactly what you're buying in return. And then, of course, the final piece, exactly what you said, Darlene, you're helping the environment, right? At the end of the day, there's a better way to receive electricity than burning coal, right? And using nuclear power, right? And not using these toxic sources. So this is just a little bit, kind of the starter of what it can do for you. So let's hop into the company. So the company is Infinity Energy. We've actually been around since 2008, servicing your area, the Rockland and Orange area. Done thousands and thousands of installations. As you can see, here's a couple of our accreditations. We do hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, part of the American Solar Energy Society, screened and approved home advisor. Variety of different things because of the quality of work that we've been able to do in our region for such a long span of time. So getting into the company here, the company actually has an extremely unique backstory. The company was actually co-founded by two childhood friends that lived pretty close to you guys, actually. They grew up in northern Bergen County, Murphy on the left, Achilles on the right. So basically what happened was these two kids grew up together, went to high school together, and then became super close friends. After a while, they each decided to go their own way. Murphy, the gentleman on the left, he actually decided to pursue a career in roofing. So what he did is he actually learned the ins and outs of roofing from just being basically a day laborer, got really good at it, really started to understand the trade and like it. So he decided to actually open up his own roofing company in the early 2000s. After a couple of years, the quality of work that he provided was so superb that what actually ended up happening is GAF, the largest roofing company in the world, contacted him to become an installer for him. Now, to this day, we are still a full-scale roofing company. We do still 40, 50, 60 roofs a month separated from our actual solar business. Okay, so GAF, we hold a Master Elite accreditation with them, which is the highest designation that you can actually achieve through the GAF roofing system, which is, again, highest quality in the world. So a little bit about GAF, right? They've been around for a very long time. Have you guys ever heard of them before, GAF?
No.
Nope.
So yeah, GAF it's really the creme de la creme when it comes to roofing materials, right? We offer a 50-year warranty on all of our roofing pieces, any roofs that we sell. How old would you say your roof is?
Mm,
It was here when we bought the house.
Is it in
know.
pretty good shape?
Could be better, could be worse. It's not leaking.
Good. Well, what'll happen is before we ever install a system, we're going to do a full on-site assessment to make sure that the roof is in top shape. And if it's not, what we're able to do is we're able to provide at-cost quotes to our customers through our roofing division. So we're kind of a one-stop shop for all that stuff. Okay. Now, the other part of the partnership here, right, is Achilles. So Achilles actually decided to take a different route than Murphy. He decided to move into the electrical trade. So he basically, right out of high school, he went to be an electrical apprentice. He learned from some of the best in the state, and then actually ended up getting his master certification on the electrical side. So his company, Eco Electric, specialized in residential electric and overall low and high voltage electricity. Okay, so basically what happened here in 2008, you had two childhood best friends, right, that were both masters of their trade. Right, Murphy who owned a GAF a GAF roofing company, and Achilles who owned a Master Elite. Achilles who was a master electrician. So basically, what the two of them did, all these incentives started coming out for solar. The industry started to grow in 2008, and the two of them said, "Hey, look, this solar thing is pretty awesome, right? And what is solar? A solar is basically electric on a roof." Right? You own an electric outfit, I own a roofing company. Let's combine our two companies and then create Infinity Solar. So that's actually how the company was born, 2008. So as you can see from some of the pictures here, the quality and the overall expertise in what we do really comes out in our work. We do extremely unique things. We're actually able to hide conduit, right? Burying conduit through here. So you see all the electrical work on a lot of our competition. They'll leave a lot of piping. They'll leave a lot of conduit up on the roofs. What we're able to do with our expertise, we're able to run conduits through attics, right? Make it non-visible and use a low-profile racking system to be able to make the system look extremely low-profile and flush to the roof. Make sense? Any questions on that so far? Now, a huge piece, you were talking about the warranties, Darlene, before. One of the things that our expertise can back, right, is this 25-year coverage. So we're the only company in the Northeast that offers a warranty this strong because of the work and the expertise that we do. We actually have a 25-year leak-proof penetration warranty. So we're guaranteeing any penetrations that we make in the roof for a quarter century, along with all these other pieces. Now, the reason why we're able to produce warranties like this, right, and we're able to do work like this, we're hiding the conduit, is because none of the projects that we ever install are ever subcontracted. Every single one of our installation crews are completely run internally, right? So we never need to worry about the type of work that they're doing. They're all directly trained by Murphy and Achilles to provide the highest quality of aesthetics job possible. All right. So that's a little bit of information about Infinity Roofing, Infinity Solar and the company. Any questions on that? Who we are, what we do, benefits of getting this job installed by us, anything along the lines of that?
Not yet.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions aside from Infinity Roofing yet? No? All right, perfect. So let's hop into the next portion. The next portion is
How
the
much does it cost?
Yeah, we're getting there. So the next portion here is the incentives, right? So a lot of people actually don't realize this, but the energy infrastructure, the way that we're actually consuming electricity is completely failing us, right? So we've seen this over the past couple of weeks, right? Electrical poles down, infrastructure just being beat up from the weather. And really the reason behind that is when this electrical infrastructure was built in the very early 1900s, it just wasn't built to support the type of infrastructure that we built now, right? The electrical demand is just astronomical compared to what the infrastructure can hold, right? So people are charging electric cars, people are doing a million different things with electric and taxing the grid to a point where it's basically at a quote unquote point break place. Right. So if we keep adding to the grid, we're going to have basically an infrastructure failure. What happened was in 2007, 2008, the federal government became very aware of this issue. So the federal government needed to incentivize and create a way for homeowners to generate their own electricity and, more importantly, deliver that electricity to themselves because the infrastructure was in such bad shape. Now, solar was a natural thought, right? Because at the way, how else are you going to generate power and deliver it to yourself? Well, you can put a solar system on your roof. That solar system can generate power and deliver it directly into your main service panel, right? So what the federal government did is they tried to push people to start going solar. The issue was that there wasn't enough financial incentive for people to do it. An average solar system cost $30,000 or $40,000 at the time. So the average person wasn't interested in putting solar on their home. So what happened was the federal government actually created an incentive, and they said, if your home has a roof that faces in the right direction, you get a certain amount of sun on your roof throughout the day, and you have a credit score of 650, they'll cover all the upfront cost of going solar, all of them. They all get absorbed by that, okay? Now, in addition to that, what the federal government did is they put pressure on the state level to make sure that the states were also doing their part to make sure that they can help financially go solar to untax the grid. So in the state of New York is the second greenest state in the country behind California. They have the strongest incentives for solar and renewable energy, which is why you see so many of your neighbors and your friends going solar, right? So they actually put together two separate incentive programs. One of them is a program called the NYSERDA program, right? So the NYSERDA program stands for the New York State Research and Development Authority. And basically what they do is they collect money from people all across the state and build a fund. And that fund helps lower the overall cost of going solar. So that's one incentive. The second incentive is a New York State $5,000 tax credit. Now, the way that this works is it's very, very simple. Once you go solar, you're going to have a monthly payment for your solar system, okay? Now, that monthly payment for your solar system it turns into a dollar for dollar tax credit or a tax write-off at the end of the year. So let's just use an easy example here. Let's just say your monthly solar payment was $100 a month. At the end of the year, you would have paid $1,200 for your solar. You following me? In this scenario, right, your entire first year, your $1,200, at the end of the year, you go to your tax accountant, you give them this form, the IT-255, and you get every single one of those dollars back on your state income taxes. So you'll get that back in addition to what you would typically get back. Now that process will repeat itself for up to $5,000. So if you had $1,200 your first year, $1,200 your second year, $1,200 your third year, $1,200 your fourth year, your first 4 years of total solar costs would equal $4,800. You get all that money back plus the next 2 months into your 5 years. Are you following me on this?
Yes.
Right? So you're getting a ton of money back. So your first 4 or 5 years in that scenario would be completely free for electric. Am I losing you, Darlene? You look like you're getting bored over there.
Not at all.
Good? All right, cool. So this is a little bit about the incentives, right? So before I hop into the next piece, I know I just covered a lot of information right there. What questions do you guys have about the incentives, the programs, why they exist, and how they're available to you guys?
Does everybody qualify for them?
No, so only about 20 give or take, of New York residents qualify for the incentives, qualify for the overall solar program. We vetted your house before we've actually spoken to you and contacted you, so we know that you are a qualified person for solar, as long as your credit score is 650 or above. Would you guys say that you guys fall in that range?
Yeah.
Good, good. Now, the only other thing that you would have to qualify for is if you don't pay New York State income, right, taxes, then you wouldn't qualify for the New York State $5,000 tax credit. Do you guys both work?
Mhm.
Good. So if you guys both work and you guys both pay New York State taxes, right, you guys will both be able to qualify for the $5,000 tax credit. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to hop into is I'm going to hop into your electric bill. Thank you for sending that over to me a little bit earlier, but I have a copy of your electric bill. I'm going to walk you through it. So an electric bill is an extremely, extremely unique thing. It's the only extreme variable cost in the majority of households, right? So this goes back to what I was talking about before. You never know what you're going to get when you open up that Orange and Rockland envelope, right? It could be $50, $100, $500, $700. You have no idea, right? And this is kind of what throws off budgeting. The thing that's really bizarre is people actually don't know what they're paying for inside the electric bill, right? So what happens is Orange and Rockland just gets away with billing you for whatever you want, because if you don't pay, they're just going to turn off the lights, right? Simple as that. So think about this in like a realistic way, right? For me, I know what my mortgage payment's going to be every month. Every single month, it's the same thing. I know what my car payment's going to be, my auto insurance, my Verizon cell phone bill, my Verizon phone bill. I know exactly what it's going to be. Now, if my cell phone bill from Verizon, my cell phone bill is $95 a month. If Verizon sends me a cell phone bill the following month for $700, I'm going to be on the phone with them and I'm going to be livid, right? What the hell is this? Are you kidding me? $500? For this is what it costs, blah, 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 right? So on an electric bill, it doesn't work like that. Whatever you open is what you pay, no questions asked. So guess what? Orange and Rockland knows that, right? So what they've done over time is they've been able to kind of increase, right, hide additional charges, hide additional costs, because they know no one has any idea what the hell they're paying for. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to educate you guys on what you're actually paying for on a monthly basis through Orange and Rockland, and I'm going to help you guys understand your electric bill a little bit better, so you understand how to combat it a little bit better. Make sense?
Mhm.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Let's hop into it. So here's a copy of your electric bill, right? Again, thank you for sending this over to me. And what I would like to do is I'm going to explain it to you in a way that's much more digestible, okay? So the way that your electric bill works is in three main segments. The first one of these segments is just showing you consumption. So if you look right here, it's showing you how many kilowatt hours you consumed in the last month. So kilowatt hours, kWh, this is basically just a unit of measurement. So like think of inches or feet, right? Or gallons of gas, right? It's just a unit of measurement of how much electricity you consumed. Last month, you guys consumed 1,258 kilowatt hours worth of electricity, right? This is pretty simple. The more you consume, right, guess what? The more they bill you for, right? The less you consume, the less they bill you for. Now, the actual bill is broken down into two primary segments, right? You have your delivery and you have your supply, okay? Now, your delivery charge is exactly what it sounds like. The delivery is how much Orange and Rockland charges you to get the power delivered to your home. Delivered, right? So remember what I was talking about before. The electrical infrastructure is completely falling apart. Guess what? Every time you see an Orange and Rockland van, someone paid for that van. Every time you see a guy hop out of that van, someone's paying him, and probably a pretty good salary too. Half those guys are union workers collecting their overtime and double time, right? Now think about all the Orange and Rockland vans you see, all the new tires, all the new gas, all the employees, all the pensions, all that stuff the money needs to come from somewhere. Now all those people are responsible for delivering the power to your home, right? So instead of Orange and Rockland paying all those charges, they just pass them along to you, right? So this is what goes into this. Now, all this money, so you paid $132 last month just to get the power delivered to your home. This isn't what you paid for electric. This is what you paid for basically shipping and handling, right? So it's a pretty crazy number here. Now, let's take a look at some of these charges in here. So one of the charges here is your SBC charge, right? So your SBC charge stands for your systems benefits charge, right? Now, inside the systems benefits charge, let's see if I can move this, and if you actually have the bottom of your bill. So if I go down to the explanation, right, of your SBC charge, you see this, SBC? Let's read it. The SBC's charge, the systems benefits charge, recovers the cost associated with clean energy activities conducted by the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority, also known as NYSERDA, right? So remember that fund that I was talking about that everyone pays into? That's where it is. It's the SBC charge. So last month, right, you paid $7.18 to fund someone else's solar project, right? So again, you're going to be one of two people after this call. You're either going to be someone that keeps paying money into the fund, or you're going to be someone that can withdraw the money from the fund, right? Now, even though everyone pays into it, not everybody can pull the money. Now, keep in mind, this is in your delivery charge. This has nothing to do with delivering the power, right? But what they've been able to do is just continue hiding charges into here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this delivery charge, this 132, because you're going to be able to deliver the power to yourself. There's one charge that we're going to keep inside this delivery charge, which is a very good charge, and that's here, the basic service charge. So last month and every month, you pay $19.50 for this basic service charge. Now, the reason why this is a good charge is the basic service charge is what keeps you connected to the electrical grid, the electrical infrastructure. It keeps you connected to it, okay? Now, the reason why this is a good charge is because during the day, what's going to happen is your solar system is going to generate electricity. Now, if you're home, you'll use that electricity in real time. But the majority of people are not actually home when the system is cranking and generating the most amount of electricity possible. So what ends up happening is all that electricity that gets generated throughout the day, we use this basic service charge to store it on the grid. Then when you come home, the sun goes down, it's night out, the solar system's no longer generating electric. You can pull all that electric right back out that you saved up throughout the day. Does that make sense?
What do you mean pull it back out?
So you're generating electricity through the day, right? And if you're not consuming that electricity, you're able to store it out on the grid. So as you store that electricity out on the grid, right, when the sun goes down and it's nighttime, your solar system's not generating electric anymore, but you'll need electric. So all that electric that you see throughout the day, you can just pull that electric right back out. Make sense?
So what happens if the power goes out?
Good question. If the power goes out, your system will automatically shut down for grid safety. So it's a law throughout New York, right? Because your system is net metered, if the grid goes down and you're sending out electric onto the grid, you can kill someone, right? Because the people are out there, they're working on the poles, they're doing work, they're doing all that stuff. So if your system is generating power and you're sending a live current onto a grid that's supposed to be deactivated for maintenance, what'll happen is you'll give somebody a little shock. So that all happens automatically on the back end. The system will read that this grid is turned off. Once the grid is reactivated, your solar system will automatically reactivate. All right?
So what about, so if the power is out and it's shut off to the poles, will the sun, if the power is out, will the sun still give us power during the day?
It won't. Nope. Your system will automatically shut down for grid safety. So it'll automatically turn off.
How do we do that?
It all happens on the back end. It happens automatically for you guys.
And is there some sort of a battery that comes with it so we could use it if the power went out?
There is. So we're able to do battery programming. So this is kind of a unique situation. Well, so I'm going to pause here for 1 second, right? So right now, the battery technology is extremely expensive, right? So, and this is kind of where we'll kind of have a little bit of a break here in the conversation. So there's two different people that I deal with, right? Two different customers. There's a customer that's mostly financially and economically motivated by going solar. They're saying, hey, Matt, look, I want to save money. I want to decrease my carbon footprint, and I want to decrease the cost of my electric bill, right? And this is why I want to go solar. And I say, okay, great. I have a great program for you. Then there's another customer, right? The other customer has a completely different issue. They're not concerned with how much their electric bill is. They're concerned about losing power. So a good example of this, I have a customer in a nice wealthy area. The guy calls me and he says, Matt, I cannot lose power. I have a family member, they're on a ventilator. If I lose power, we're in deep, right? So this is a completely different mindset, right? The package that he's looking for will not save him money, right? But he will have power all the time. So it'll be equal to or greater than what you're currently paying now for your electric to have a solar battery combo, okay? So it's kind of one or the other, right? If you're looking for a financially viable system and you're looking for something that's going to make a significant decrease in your electric bill, we can do that without a battery, right? Now, the beautiful thing is you don't need a battery because you're connected to Orange and Rockland's grid and you can store all your power on there. The only time that you lose power is when you normally lose power, which typically is not too frequently, or correct me if I'm wrong, right? Do you guys lose power very frequently in your area?
No.
From a financial standpoint, the average battery, you do lose power a lot?
Bless you. Yes.
Okay, so what I would recommend is a generator. You can get a good generator for $2,000 or $3,000, right, which is a good benefit, and then you can use that on the time being. The average battery runs around 17 to 27,000. All right, so just kind of something to keep on. And if you want quotes for that, I don't want to sell you against it all, right? I just do want to, in the beginning of the presentation, you guys told me that you were interested in saving money, and that's just a route that's not going to achieve that for you. All right, make sense so far? All right, so I'm going to hop back into the bill here, okay? All good questions. So taking a look at your electric bill here, right, this is what we're working with. The basic service charge is what we're going to keep, this $19.50. The rest of it, we're going to get out of here. Your total cost for electric was the total cost for your delivery was $132. Now, the other charge that you're talking about here, the other charge that you're paying every month is your supply. So your supply is exactly what it sounds like. Last month, you paid $87.93 for your power. Now, in return, Orange and Rockland gave you, sorry, this pen is a little hard to use, 1,258 kilowatt hours, right? So let me just break this down in the simplest way possible. Last month, right, Orange and Rockland supplied you, right here, supplied you with $87 worth of electric. That $87 purchased 1,258 kilowatt hours worth of power. Now, this is not actually a bad deal. The issue is you had to pay $132.61 to get that power brought to you, right? So now just think about this for a second. This would be the equivalent of, Darlene, I'm going to pick on you here for a second, all right? This would be the equivalent, Darlene going online and picking out a nice pair of shoes for $87.93, right? But then when she goes to checkout, the total cost for the shoes are $220.54 because Amazon wanted $132 to deliver those shoes to her, right? Darlene, would you buy those shoes?
No.
She had to think about it for a second. Depends on what they look like, right? So exactly, you wouldn't do it, and no one in their right mind would ever do it, right? The ridiculous thing is you do it every single month with your electric bill. Every single month, right? This isn't an anomaly. This isn't just one random month that I picked up here. This is every single month. You're paying more to get the power delivered to your house, right, than you're actually paying for the power. Now, let me ask you a question. As time goes on and the grid continues to fall apart, do you think the delivery cost is going to go up or down? It's simple, right? As the grid gets older, as it falls apart more, we need to put more Band-Aids on it. More Band-Aids are needed to buy, we need more people to put on more Band-Aids, all right? So this is a little bit about your electric bill, okay? So what I want to do next is if you look to the right of this, you see this monthly electric usage. This graph right here gave me the ability to see exactly how much electricity you're consuming on a monthly basis. Now, with that information, what I was able to do is I was able to build a proposal to show you a savings analysis, okay? And here it is, all right? So here is your proposal, okay? So last month you used so the system that you need to power your home is a 14 kW system. All that means to you is that you need 40 solar panels to generate your power, okay? Now those 40 solar panels are going to generate an estimated 13,851 kilowatt hours, which is going to generate 73% of your total home consumption, all right? Now, with that, you're going to get a roof penetration warranty through the financer as well through us. The financer is going to back any penetrations in the roof for 10 years. Us as the installer are going to back it for 25. So you're covered for top to bottom here on the roof penetrations. One of the beautiful things is free overproduction, right? So we're saying your system will generate 13,851. Now, this past year, we didn't really get a winter, right? There was hardly any snow, hardly any bad weather, right? So all the solar systems we have in service are significantly overproducing. So if your system were to generate 15,000 kilowatt hours, for example, you're not going to get an invoice for those extra 1,200 kilowatt hours. Does that make sense? All that extra production is yours for free. Now, vice versa of that, if the system underproduces, we have a production guarantee. So if the system produces less than what we're saying it's going to produce, we cut you a check at the end of the year when we do a system audit. So you're covered both ways, all right? Service transfer guarantee, if you ever do move, right, we guarantee that the new homeowner will be able to qualify for your solar system regardless of financial or economic situation, all right? At the end of the 25 years, right, we have a couple different options. We can either, one, remove the system for free, two, you can buy the system out at fair market value, or three, continue on a month-to-month payment. Okay, so let's get to the good stuff, right? What you've been waiting for. I did like a bad proposal here. I didn't look at this first. Give me a second, guys. This guy is doing it up front. It's like a completely different thing on the proposal. Okay. So here we are, right? So here's your current rate for electricity, which you're currently paying Orange and Rockland. You're paying them 19.3 cents per kilowatt hour. Now, once you go solar, right, your rate for electric is going to be 13.5 cents per kilowatt hour, saving you around 30% on your bill, okay? Now, what that means in dollars and cents is your average electric bill to Orange and Rockland is approximately $173 per month. Once you go solar, all you're going to have left over is your basic service charge, which we agreed on before is $19.50, okay? Now, in place of your $173 monthly payment, you're going to have a monthly solar payment, which is only $122 a month, okay? Now, the beauty of this is a couple things. Obviously, you're going to be saving a ton of money every month. Two, we're going to be able to control the rate of escalation. So we're only going to increase the monthly payment of $122, 2.9% on an annual basis. So currently Orange and Rockland increases their rates between 3 and 6%. So not only are you starting off at a significantly lower rate and lower price than what you're currently paying, but that price is going to increase at a significantly slower pace. Make sense? Now, the best part about it all. So if you remember before, right, we were talking about that $5,000 tax credit. Whoa, this is pretty big. More. So if we take a look here, right, you're going to get that $5,000 tax credit, okay? Now that $5,000 tax credit, right, you're going to get all your monthly payments of $122 back for your first $5,000. So I'm going to take $5,000 and I'm going to divide it by 122, okay? So what that means is your first 40 months of solar are completely free. Every time you make a solar payment, you get that money back. Okay, so divide that by 12 months in a year, right? Your first almost 3.5 years of solar, of your electric, every single dollar that you pay is going to be given back to you at the end of the year. So this would be the equivalent of Orange and Rockland calling you and saying, hey, you guys are a fantastic customer, right? You guys are so good, right, that we're going to actually give you a 30% decrease, right, in your payment. And in addition to that, the next 3.5 years, every dollar you send us, I'm just going to send that money right back to you at the end of the year, right? Of course, you would say yes, right? No brainer, without a doubt, right? Of course.
Sure.
Without a doubt. I mean, this is a no-brainer. So what the next step is even if you wanted to take advantage of this today, unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to. This is based off of preliminary numbers. So what we need to do is schedule a site assessment to have a surveyor come out to your house to make sure that your home does qualify for this exact program and do a true up. make sure that we can fit this many panels, make sure that your roof is in good shape, make sure that your electrical system is in good shape. So all we need to do today is we need to do a very quick credit application to make sure that you do qualify with that 650 credit score, okay? Now this is a soft check, so it's not gonna affect your credit in a negative way. And we're gonna move through this together, all right? So here's the credit check. As you see, the majority of the information is already filled out for you. I need one of your birthdays. All right, so I go through this here. Okay, my birthday is this, that. Fill out the social.
Well, no, Matt, I'm not sure if we're ready to take that step just yet.
Okay, got it. So what is it that's holding you back?
Oh, well, I mean, this is a big decision, and I mean, I think it's something that we have to discuss, you know, together. And yeah, it's something that I think we're definitely interested in. I think that, you know, we need some time to, you know, kind of let it ruminate, and you know, we'll get back to you soon.
Without a doubt. So in the beginning of the presentation, right, we were kind of coming down to, you know, it was the number one biggest factor you said you didn't go with the other company was the validity of them, right? They didn't have the good ratings. You didn't feel comfortable with them. So was there something that wasn't explained correctly here? Because I mean, I know the numbers are good. I know you guys are excited about that. Is there a break here between the way that you feel about Infinity Energy? Is there something that I could explain a little bit better on that side?
No, I think it's, you know, I think that we're just, I mean, you know, what do you think, Darlene? I mean, isn't this something that we should talk about?
Yeah, I think we should talk about it. I mean, it's not like we have to dish out a ton of money to do this, though. So it's not horrible. You know, we're going to get money back for the first couple of years. So the money part is not the issue. So really, it's whatever my husband wants to talk to me about, because I'm okay with it.
Okay. Well, either way, right? I mean, the goal here is to make sure that everybody feels comfortable with this, right? So my job here is not to push you guys into making a decision you don't want to make. It's an educational process on my end, right? So my job is to provide the information to you guys and go through it and make sure you guys have a clear understanding. Because typically when people have a clear understanding, like we agreed on before, right? This is a no-brainer, right? You're being paid $5,000 to save 30% off your electric bill, right? So the finances is definitely there, right? No one can argue that, right? So what is the other hesitational piece for you, Rich? I mean, I'm here for you when you know, I'm here for you now. I'd be happy to answer any concerns that you may have for taking the next step.
Well, I mean, do we have to? I mean, is there a way to have the site survey and see what everybody thinks, so without having to do our credit and locking into anything?
Yeah. So for us to be able to deploy anyone out to the house, right, we would need to know that you qualify for the program, right? Because as soon as we do that, it turns into a financial investment for us, right? We're coming out, we're doing measurements, and you know, of course, this is, you know, if it's something you're not interested in, or it's something that, you know, you guys really need to mull over, it may not make sense to do the site assessment yet, right? Now, with that being said, the site assessment is going to be, I mean, the numbers here are going to be spot on, right? The only reason why we do this, you know, the number from a numbers perspective, we do it more to inspect the roof. We do it more to inspect your electrical system and make sure that everything on your home piece is up to par. The numbers are going to be, you know, maybe $1 off either way, right? But it's going to be neck and neck.
Now, is there any way to have anybody to come out? I mean, we have some sick relatives, and with everything going on with COVID, we really don't want anybody in the house right now.
Yeah, no one would be in the house, right? So the site assessment would be an exterior site assessment. You would actually hop up on the roof, we'll take the measurements. If you don't want anybody in the house, the only pictures that I need are your main service panel, which you could just text over to me. All right, we're trying to do this as contactless as possible, of course, right? We're trying to, you know, with the virtual meetings and with that. So yeah, basically what happened, he'd come out, he'd take measurements of the roof, right? He'd check out the exterior of your meter, right? And your electrical connection coming in from the grid. Once all that checks out, right? What he'll do is, if you could just send over the picture of the main service panel, we'd be able to kind of build out the final proposal and move forward from there. All right.
Well, the other issue is too, to be frank with you, Matt, you know, before COVID hit, we had some illness in the family, and we kind of overextended ourselves. And when COVID hit, we got hit pretty badly. So, you know, as far as, you know, Darlene's credit's fine, but, you know, mine's taking a bit of a hit right now. You know, I don't know about, you know, I don't know what where we're gonna go with that, you know.
Okay, well, again, with something like this, right? I mean, a program, and I get it, a lot of people are financially extended right now, and that's why programs like this are so valuable while they exist, right? The state's not going to pay everyone $5,000 to go solar forever, right? So, again, with the credit application, I mean, as long as Darlene, you're on title, I have no problem running the credit through you. And also keep in mind, it is a soft check, right? So it's not going to pull on your negative. It's not going to show negatively on your credit report. Okay. All right, cool.
So we don't both have to be on there then.
No, only one person needs to be on there. You don't both need to be on there. All
Okay.
right. So
And
I'm gonna go ahead.
what's the deal? We're also thinking about selling the house at some point. We got a lot of things in the air right now. What happens with that?
Without a doubt. So if you do sell your house, we guarantee that the new homeowner will qualify for the system regardless of their financial or economic situation. Now, one of the really, really nice parts about this is going solar is the only home improvement that's actually going to increase your resale value and increase speed to sale without you spending any money out of your pocket. Right? I mean, think about the big things that move houses and increase prices, right? It's a kitchen renovation, bathroom renovation. It's the, new siding or windows. All those renovations are in the tens of thousands of dollars. Solar goes right into that conversation, right? Because it's creating a fixed cost out of a variable cost, which is what people want, right? They want stability. They want to know what their monthly payment is, right? And they want a house that's futuristic, right? That's generating power in a newer, cooler way. So the studies that are done in New York is when you sell your house with solar, you're typically going to get around 5% more money for it, which doesn't sound like a ton, right? But if you sell your house, just for example, for 300 G's, it's an extra 15,000 you're going to be able to get for that, without putting a dollar out of pocket. Of course, it's going to sell for around 10% faster. People are seeking out energy efficient homes, right? It's a huge thing right now, so it's going to help move the house quicker.
What do you think, baby?
I mean, I'm okay with it. I think we should do it.
Okay, great. So what I'm going to do, pull up the credit application. We go through the credit application, right? Once a credit application is completed, what I would do is say, okay, cool, you guys passed, right? So now what the next step is going to be, the site assessor is going to come out. The next person you're going to hear from Susan, right? Susan is going to get that information back from the site survey to me as soon as we get that done. I'm going to rebuild the quote with the final numbers, and then we'll meet in about a week, right? So today is Friday at 9 o'clock, right? Well, not anymore, but it was Friday at 9 o'clock when we first started to meet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule a time to go through all the final numbers next Friday at 9 o'clock. Does that time work for you guys? Okay, cool. So we'll go through all the stuff there. Feel free to reach out to me. You guys both have my information. I'm going to email some of this stuff over to you as soon as I get off the phone. I'm going to email it over to you. If you have any questions or concerns or anything that I can answer any further to make you guys feel as comfortable as possible about this whole situation, feel free to reach out to me. My cell is always on. Okay. And that's it. I look forward to speaking with you guys next Friday.
Sounds good, Matt. Thanks for your time.
Talk to you soon.
You up for Taco Bell, sweetheart, for lunch?